Booktube. I'm Scott.
I'm Nelle.
We are Gunpowder, Fiction, and Plot, and that is the intro to almost every video we film. This is a bit of a silly idea we've got for a video. So, Nelle, there is a stack of 5 books in front of each of us that we know nothing about.
Or
Very little about.
Or we've purchased and can't remember what they're about.
So, based on the cover of the book...
And its title.
We're going to guess what these books are about. And
so please don't purchase any of the books in this video based on the synopsis we give, because they're entirely made up.
On the other hand, if you've read them and our synopsis is better, let us know, because we'll write those. No, we won't. That's just time consuming.
We're not writing any books.
We're not writing books.
But yeah, I want your opinions, especially if you've actually read the book.
All right, Nelle.
I want you to go first.
You want me to go first?
Because I can see the book on the top of your pile, and I've read it.
And you've read it? So you want to see how dumb I am. Okay, ready?
Yeah.
And the Ass Saw the Angel by Nick Cave. I think this is going to be a novel about religion. I think that we've obviously got an angel in the title, and this will be somebody's coming to terms with religion. But it's Nick Cave, and I know he takes a lot of heroin, and everything's just a bit wrong. And he wrote a song about zombies coming back to life. So...
called Dig Lazarus Dig.
Dig Lazarus Dig. So our main character, the Ass, is a half man, half donkey who was a man but woke up as a half man, half donkey after a drug-induced psychosis, and had an angel come to him and reveal his spiritual path, and now he is like a prophet. That is what I think this story is about.
Okay.
Yeah. All right. Nelle, go.
Oh, mine's called Elephant, and it's got nothing on the cover to help me at all. So I think
that was a better cover.
So I think it's about an elephant, and I think it's a utopia story where elephants actually run our society, and we live by elephant principles, which means we're living in a matriarchal society, led by empathy and integrated with the environment. And yeah, that's what I think it's about.
Awesome. Do we get cool trunks?
I don't know.
Michael Grant, B-Z-R-K.
Berserk?
I don't know. Maybe it's Berserk. Oh, Berserk. Yeah, you're right. Where
did you get this book from?
Yeah, let me tell you that story. One day during lockdown, doing my job, which is driving and delivering stuff, which nobody is allowed to do, but because we deliver food, I am.
Yeah.
I came across this sign that said, free books to a good home. And by came across, I mean I literally parked next to it because I was delivering to the across the road neighbour of this person. And I said, don't mind if I do, because who's going to see these books out the front of your house when nobody is allowed to leave their house? And this was one of the 2 books that was there.
So you literally know nothing about it?
I literally know nothing about it. It looks like a thriller to me. That is an eye, and that is not a human eye. So I'm going to say that this is the story. It's not a human eye.
But there's a person in it.
Yeah. I'm going to say it's a story about some sort of bear, wolf, monster, alien thing that lives in the woods that hunts people. And that's a floating person on it. So let's go for a bear alien.
Okay.
That's hunting people that go camping in the woods, because that's scary right when it gets dark.
Yeah.
right? And then they levitate them, and then they just like rip them to shreds. And then once they get a scent of their blood, they go berserk, and then they hunt down everybody in their camp party.
Oh.
That's what I think it's about.
Sounds like the Simpsons haunted house episodes.
Oh, it could be.
Oh, okay. I Capture the Castle by Dodie Smith. The person on the thing has like a big bit of material. I think it's like a flag. So I'm going with like this is like a military games, based in some sort of military games. They've got to capture the flag of the castle. And so Scott's laughing. He's clearly read this.
I have read that.
And so I think there's got to be 2 castles and there's 2 teams, probably a red team and a blue team, and they've got to capture each other's flag. And then some kind of shenanigans goes on. It's either got to be a romance because it's 2 teams in like forbidden romance, or it's got to be something murdery. I think because it's a bit foggy, that it might be more mysterious. So I'm going with a murdery situation. So maybe like these military games get a little bit more murdery and a little bit less gamey, and it gets a bit scary and creepy. That's what I reckon.
Can I give you a hint with this? The writer, the author, Dodie Smith, her other famous novel is 101 Dalmatians.
Oh. So not about murderies then.
I mean...
It could be.
I mean, if you had have expected 101 Dalmatians and you picked up that book... But I just thought that was a funny thing to point out.
Yeah.
Okay. One Day I'll Tell You Everything by Emmanuel Pagano. By Emmanuel Pagano. For some reason, I think that this is set in Patagonia. It's because the author's last name vaguely looks like Patagonia, and we have some sort of mountainy things. We have a pink bus. This is in black and white and pink. That's interesting colours. I think that this is some sort of coming of age novel about the daughter of a single parent who her father raised her. He was a single parent and he raised his daughter, and the mother died in some sort of circumstances, and he's emotionally crippled, and the daughter is then becoming like emotionally crippled as well because of the father being emotionally crippled. And the father's like, one day I'll tell you everything, but then the daughter goes on to this like voyage of self-discovery in Patagonia and goes like bushwalking to these remote places and sees these sites, and she discovers that it doesn't matter who her mother was and how she dies, that doesn't affect who she is, and she becomes a beautiful person at the end of that. And then she comes back and she somehow helps her father. Her father dies, and then she's completely released from the...
His bullshit.
Yeah.
I like that ending. Excellent. Kill the man. The Space Between Us by Thriti Umbragar. It's got a pretty embossing pattern on it, and it looks like a person covered in a scarf is running. That's what it looks like. Yeah? Yeah?
The Scarf Runner.
I think The Space Between Us, I think this is a story about someone losing someone. I think that's when you notice the space between you, is when you lose someone. So I think this is about someone losing a friend, maybe to death, or no, I'm going to say to like some kind of civil war because of the running situation here. So I'm going to say that like, not the Berlin Wall, but you know, like some sort of segregation of a city separates 2 friends, and then they're both living quite close to each other but completely separately and unable to reach each other and communicate. And I'm going to go with that this is a dual narrative about their completely different experiences and the absence of each other from each other's lives. That's what that's about.
That could actually be a book.
Well, I tried.
I know, but like I had bear aliens. And you wrote a book.
Yeah, but your cover deserved bear aliens.
Okay, I think it got the story it deserved.
Yeah.
And They Don't Die by Loretta Nicobo. And it has a picture of a bunch of people. They look like they're all women, all like black women without shoes, no, with shoes, walking along a road. So I'm going to go for there's some sort of refugee thing here.
They do look very refugee-ish.
And I'm going to say not just refugees, but refugees from civil war, and all the men in the society have been conscripted into this civil war. And this is a story about how the women cope without the men, and how that civil war affects people that aren't the soldiers. It affects like the
people who are at home.
The people who are at home, and then this is going to follow several different women who are all running away from a civil war in Africa, while their sons, brothers, and husbands are killing each other, possibly upon pain of death by their own side.
Okay.
Yep. Second last one for you, Nelle.
This one's called Mosquito, and I don't care what the cover looks like because this is about a bloodborne disease. It's being carried by a mosquito. I mean, clearly that's what it's about.
Looks like it, yeah.
Yeah, it does. The disease is like rapidly deadly, but it's not communicable person to person, only by mosquitoes. So the society has to build a mosquito-proof environment to live in, and this is about how they try and do that while the mosquitoes just keep biting them and they keep dying.
So this is malaria, the story.
No, because you die in like 24 hours, like super quick death.
Bang dead.
Bang dead, and everyone dies.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
Well, my last book is Helen Omiembe, Boy Snowbird. Now, I know I've heard Helen Omiembe's name before because I don't think I could pronounce that close to being correct, because I'm relatively sure that's not correct.
It's not correct.
How do you pronounce her name?
Oyeyemi.
I'm probably
You're
getting her confused with a different writer.
You're definitely adding in an extra M when you say it.
Boy Snowbird, and we have this picture of some flowers and then a gold stick or branch with a bird, and it looks like it could be like a robin on it. And I'm going to say we're going to be in the snow about a boy who likes to birdwatch. He is an ornithologist, an amateur ornithologist, and...
Because there's another kind.
You're professional ornithologists, like David Attenborough.
Okay.
And I'm going to say that this is going to be a romance novel with a different love triangle, because our main character is pansexual and they fall in love with a boy and a girl, and they don't know which one to woo them, and it's all done through the narrative of scenery in the snow and bird watching in the snow.
I chose The Return of the Native because just to prove how much I don't listen to my husband. I don't know what this is about. So I'm going to say that it's about a Native American woman who looks very white on the cover, but we're just going to assume that that's a bit of whitewashing.
It is a black and white photograph. It can be deceptive.
Yeah, but anyway, our Native American woman travels to Europe and goes through a bit of a racist Dr. Dolittle. That's not what I mean. I mean, Pygmalion.
Pygmalion, Eliza
Doolittle. Sort of makeover, but like very, very fit in with white folks, very fit in with the upper class. And the story, A Return of the Native, is about what happens when she returns to her home and her people after this, and whether she decides to keep her new accoutrement of identity or whether she returns to her old cultural ways.
Interesting. Hardy wrote an American novel.
Yeah.
Yeah.
That's what it's about.
Other than that, I think that's the least. That's the bit that I find the
hardest. That's the bit that you find the hardest to deal with.
The rest, I think Hardy could have written.
I think I didn't kill anywhere near enough characters in that synopsis for it to be Hardy either.
You only mentioned one character.
Yeah, everyone else dies. She returns to her village, the whole village is dead, and she gets to decide how she will rebuild the culture, whether it will be traditional Native American culture or European stained culture.
Did they die of a disease she brought back from Europe?
No, but they died because of her absence somehow.
Because she was a healer or something.
Yeah. And they didn't have their healer.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah, you satisfied?
Yeah.
I've met the Hardy quotient of.
Yeah,
killing.
I mean, other than it not being based in Wessex, that sounds exactly like a Hardy novel.
I think that was fun. I doubt we were right with any of them. And I don't even mind. I don't even care to find out, to be honest.
If you have read any of these books, tell us what was better, our synopsis or the synopsis that the author came up with.
Yeah.
Well, this was clearly not a very serious video, so
I hope you enjoyed it.
Thank you, Ram. Bye.